our Back to School Professional Learning for Interactive Supports. By the end of this webinar, you will be able to explain the purpose of the interactive supports, understand how to use the interactive supports to ensure outcomes for all students, and implement best practices for using the interactive supports when planning with your high-quality instructional materials. The interactive supports provide information about barriers to student success, guidance on what may be causing these barriers, and suggested instructional supports to use with students during regular classroom instruction or intervention time. These instructional supports can be used in addition to the supports embedded in the lessons within your high-quality curriculum for students who require additional support in reading, understanding, and expressing their understanding of complex grade-level texts. The interactive supports can be found on the main page of Louisiana Curriculum Hub. Whenever you go to the Curriculum Hub website, you will see the Interactive Supports button has been added. Once you go into the Interactive Supports, you will see 4 options of topics that you could look at when identifying student support needs. So if I had a student who was having difficulty reading and understanding complex text, I would press here. In my observations, I would select what I'm seeing the student display as they are in class. Once you make your selection in observations, the possible issues will be displayed along with the possible supports. While the optional activities within the ELA guidebooks units provide supports for diverse learners, some students may require additional supports outside of the classroom instructional time. To plan for meeting the needs of these diverse learners, analyze relevant data, such as data from your daily lesson monitoring, section diagnostics, and the culminating task to identify student needs. Utilize the interactive supports to determine the best approach to support student needs. Determine which optional activities within the ELA guidebook units will support students, and plan for when the additional supports within the interactive supports will be provided outside of regular classroom instruction. Let's take a look at what these supports look like in action. My students read the article Dropping the Atomic Bomb and were engaging in a partner discussion to respond to the question, how does the article describe the fallout from the dropping of the atomic bombs? Students understanding this article will be crucial for their success on the section diagnostic. So I was listening to students share their responses with their partner. One of my students provided me with this response. I can see that the student has a misunderstanding of the word fallout. This misunderstanding is preventing my student from making meaning of the text and will directly impact their performance on the section diagnostic. As I'm preparing for the next day, I pull up the interactive supports and select the observation that is most appropriate for my student. I see that my student may have limited word knowledge or may lack the appropriate skills for determining the meaning of words. Looking at the possible supports that are given, I decide which support would be most appropriate and then identify when I will implement this support to ensure my student is able to make meaning of the text they read. As we progress through the unit, I will continue to monitor my students' progress by analyzing daily lesson data, the section diagnostic data, and the culminating task, while providing the appropriate support as needed. Next, you'll want to review the interactive supports and identify how to utilize these supports when planning for instruction. Check the ELA Back to School Professional Learning Overview document regularly to learn when new professional learning has been added. Upcoming topics include ELA Guidebooks 9-12-2020 Mentor Sentence and Vocabulary Activity Updates, and ELA Guidebooks 3-5-2022 Let's Set the Context videos. As always, you can contact ELA Guidebooks at elaguidebooks@la.gov.